An Accra resident, frustrated by the poor roads in her community, is suing her district assembly in a bid to get her roads done. Lawyer Margaret Echampon of the Teshinungwa estate says the Lejokuku-Krowo municipality has largely failed to execute its responsibility of fixing the roads, even though she has honored her tax obligations. Joining us, Adedatha has more.
The plaintiff, Margaret Echampon, is unhappy about the poor state of the road leading to her home in Teshinungwa estate, where she has lived since 1970. The Oleander Street in particular has developed several potholes, which she says makes driving stressful. Since two initial warning letters from her were ignored by the Lejokuku-Krowo Municipal Assembly, she turned to the court for redress, filing a suit at the High Court against the Assembly on December 4, 2014.
In fact, when I filed the writ, their lawyer thought he could get out of it by using technicalities. So the first process he filed to court was that they should strike out the case because I didn't go according to Section 127 of Act 462, which means that you have to give the Assembly notice, 1 month notice, before you can sue them. And we went, and the judge told him that there are letters showing that I warned them way back in 2013 and 2014. So what does it mean? So his application was struck out. So it was only last Friday that was served with their defense. And their defense they filed is a question of they don't have the mandates. They are doing it. According to them, they are doing. I'll give you a copy. They are saying that they are filling potholes and doing all kinds of things. It's a question of time, and they are doing it with scanty, resources. So I should exercise patience to get to my turn. But I don't know how long I can wait. I'm 72, and to be always pandoing every morning and evening, and if I have to walk, then I have to do hop, step, and jump to be able to walk through here. I don't know how long I can last. Moreover, my car is being affected.
Apart from the road repairs, Margaret, who is acting for herself in court, is also seeking relief of 50,000 Ghana cedis for the emotional stress she has suffered as a result of the bad roads. Margaret expects city authorities to perform their duties satisfactorily so far as she pays all taxes demanded of her.
The normal behavior of our rulers these days is that for them to only make themselves comfortable at our expense. Because if I pay money to you, I expect that you should also render service to me, and that service is not coming. In fact, property rates, we have no way of knowing. They just keep on increasing. Every year they increase. They don't tell us. All that they do is to increase and bring it. And as a law-abiding person, I pay it. Now, when I pay, I expect you also in turn to also render service to me, and we are not getting that.
She heads back to court on Tuesday, July 21, where she expects the court to pass judgment on admission. Once
their defense shows that is saying that they admit that they owe that responsibility, but they are doing it, they are only constrained by resources. Okay. There's no point in going through the whole trial.
Oh, okay.
So I'm filing a motion for judgment on admission.
The roads manager of the Assembly was not immediately available for comment. But the fact still remains that only 20% of the 517-kilometer road network in the municipality is tarred.
Wa school feeding caterers are angry with the Wa Municipal Assembly for attempting to steal their monies. Rafiq Salam is our Upper West regional correspondent. He joins us over the telephone lines now with the details of this particular story. So, Rafiq, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Why are the caterers angry with the Municipal Assembly? Hello, Rafiq. Rafiq, can you hear me? Well, Rafiq seems not to be hearing me there, but it has to do with some caterers of the school feeding program who, well, they are not too happy with the Municipal Assembly. They are accusing the Assembly of, quote, stealing their monies. Rafiq Salam is our Upper West regional correspondent. He's over the telephone lines now. Well, okay, I'm told we do not have him now. So we can move on to the next story where And the 2012 presidential candidate of the Progressive People's Party, Dr. Pakwesi Ndum, has sharply criticized groups which observed the recent by-election at Talensi in the Upper East region. Dr. Ndum says the observer groups have failed to highlight the violence that characterized the poll, but rather suggested all was well. Addressing a news conference on the Talensi by-election and its fallout, Dr. Ndum also faulted the Electoral Commission's conduct of the polls.
Responsibility to my family, to my customers, business customers, my business partners, to be a responsible Ghanaian. That's why I don't allow Progressive People's Party people to do what other people allow their party members to do. Some of us also know how to buy guns, how to get bows and arrows. We know where poor, hungry, and desperate people are, who don't care what happens to them today because they know that, well, there's nothing there. We know where, if we want them, where we can go and get thousands of them. So if some people think that they can raise an Azoka army or Bolga bulldogs, what happens if those of us who have disciplined ourselves so far also decide to raise an army of sea lions for counterattack? What happens if we do that? Because we can do it. What happens if the people who have been suffering silently decide that enough is enough? So if in 2012, my small 1,200 votes, you change it and you make it 300, and I was silent. If you go and do it to me again next time, and I decide that, your 2 million, you want to come and take my 1,000. And I decide that I will resist, and I will resist violently, then what will happen to this country? So it's not those people who are keeping this country safe. They are not the ones who are maintaining the stability. It is those of us, the silent sufferers. We know we can buy thousands of guns, can buy thousands of ammunition, we can bring thousands of people to also fight, but we choose not to. Remember that. We choose not to.
Well, Dr. Ndum said, considering the impunity vigilante groups are allowed to operate and perpetrate violence during elections, the PPP may be compelled to also unleash its own vigilante group similar to the Azoka Boys of the National Democratic Congress.
We are senselessly deluding ourselves that we are in a democracy, that there is freedom of choice, and that elections are free and fair in Ghana. The unfairness in Ghana's elections starts way before the actual elections. Then it continues to election day. And yes, election observers are well-meaning, but they have become another element of cover-up for stealing and bribery. If you had been at Talensi, you would have known. Yes, election observers, they went there, and in the end, they said, oh, the election was free and fair. Free and fair to whom? And where? Where was the free? Where was the fair? We have an EC that is election-focused and is also behind times. Otherwise, why is the EC still encouraging the use of party polling agents when they do not exist in advanced economies? The new chairman of the Electoral Commission must bring this important institution into the 21st century and make it stronger by enforcing the laws that it is supposed to work with.
While in a related development, the executive director of the West African Network for Peace Building, Chukwu Emeka Eze, has condemned the decision of the Progressive People's Party to form a vigilante group. The party's threat follows accusations of bias raised by the party against election observers at the recently held Talensi by-election.
The fact that what they are condemning it and little seems to be done, it doesn't make it much right if they also go ahead and recruit, just to balance what others are doing. So I'm thinking that PPP should show the example by mobilizing the citizens to stand up to what they consider to be wrong, and also focusing their campaign on what they think is the right thing, which is that they will come out clean to prosecute their electoral process using what they consider to be their manifesto, rather than intimidating others just because others are, no matter the level they go, that is right. As a civil society organization, we are looking for opportunities to condemn this. We are going to place the discussion at the table of all the political actors, and then we are going to look for ways to deal with it.
Well, we can now go back to the Upper West region and speak to our regional correspondent on the story where we are told that some caterers of the school feeding program are angry with the Municipal Assembly over there. Well, they are accusing the Assembly of stealing their monies. Rafiq Salam is our Upper West regional correspondent. So, Rafiq, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Why are the caterers angry with the Municipal Assembly?
The caterers, they are angry for simple reasons. And they are saying that for the past 4 or so years, anytime they go to the one Municipal Assembly to pick their checks for payment, their monies are deducted without their knowledge. And so yesterday was payday, and you remember schools were on strike, teachers were on strike between 18th October and then also 22nd October and then November 18th. And so what happened was that they were expected to pick checks for 31 days. And actually they did cook for 41 days, so they expected to pay 31 days. That took only 10 days. But here's the case. They went to the one Municipal Assembly to pick these payment checks, only to be told that they will only be paid 17, some took 15, and then 18. But the interesting thing is that on this issue, I said, they were made to pick these checks, which were signed for 31 days, and in reality, but they are paid for 14 or 15 days. And so that brought a confusion, and they are saying that they won't take those particular checks.
So what exactly do they plan on doing now? Have they, for instance, reported this issue to authorities?
According to they said for them they have done whatever they could do for them to be safe from them, because already their debtors are chasing them, and they are saying that they have not really benefited from this program since they started it. And so they are appealing to the government, especially President Mahama, to really come to their aid. But the explanation from the Assembly is also that they said the deduction were done in Accra by the school feeding secretariat, not by the one Municipal Assembly. And so their issue of accusing them of thievery is balderdash.
I see. Rafiq Salam, many thanks for your time. We'll keep our eyes on this and see how things pan out. That was Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam. Now, with about 500 tricycles ready to be distributed at a cost to youths between the ages of 20 and 25, Microfinance and Small Loan Center, MASLOC, hopes to create jobs for the unemployed youth. Now, at a partnership program between GEHOC and MASLOC, Chief Executive of MASLOC, Sedina Tamaklo Ationu, tells Joy News, all you need is 1,000 cedis deposit and the tricycle is yours.
The Microfinance and Small Loan Center, MASLOC, in partnership with GEHOC Distilleries, launched the about 500 tricycles Monday. The tricycles are expected to create jobs for the unemployed youth between the ages of 20 and 25. Chief Executive of MASLOC, Sedina Tamaklo Ationu, tells Joy Business the entire project cost about 4 million cedis, but is excited the partnership will be beneficial to the youth. She explains how it works.
People are not purchasing outright, so you have a deposit payment depending on how long you want to take the tricycle for. We have a 6-month period, we have a 12-month, we have 18 months, and then 24 months. But basically the deposit is anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 Ghana cedis, depending on which period you want. And a monthly installment of about 500, I think between 500 and 1,000, depending on the period and how long you want to take it for. The partnership is that we are financing the product. GEHOC is providing the guarantees and bringing on the beneficiaries. So basically GEHOC has a flat guarantee. So if they bring a beneficiary and the beneficiary doesn't pay, GEHOC is going to pay us.
Board chairman for Gehok Adekoka says though this is their first partnership with Maslock, they are hopeful of a fruitful relations.
We are hoping to get about 500 of these vehicles in the system. You know, by that you can go countrywide, and more so our drinks will be sold. So we've got a lot of capacity within our establishment. So we need to, and then to do export as well beyond Ghana. To have to look beyond Ghana. So this is a beginning for bigger things to come on board.
Maslock in 2010 presented tricycles to selected youths in the northern region as part of measures of creating jobs in the region. The tricycles, which were given to the beneficiaries at the cost of 12.8 million cedis to be repaid in 4 years' time, were largely used as taxis to help reduce the transportation difficulties in the Tamale metropolis.